children, how are you? I've got a story which is one of my favourite fairy tales called The Elves and the Shoemaker. Once upon a time there was a shoemaker and his wife. The shoemaker worked very hard, but they were very poor. One day all the shoemaker had left was one small piece of leather. "I will only be able to make one pair of shoes," said the shoemaker. The shoemaker cut out a pair of shoes. He left them on his workbench to sew the next morning. "They are perfect." And the next morning he was surprised. He found a pair of shoes on his workbench. They were perfect, but the shoemaker did not know who had sewn them. That day, a rich lady came into the shop and put on the shoes. "They are a perfect fit," said the rich lady, and she gave the shoemaker a big bag of money. Now, the shoemaker had money to buy leather for 2 pairs of shoes. The shoemaker cut out 2 pairs of shoes and he left them on his workbench to sew the next morning. The next morning, the shoemaker was surprised. He found 2 pairs of shoes on his workbench. "Oh, they are perfect," said his wife. That day, a very rich man came into the shop and he bought both pairs of shoes and he gave the shoemaker 2 big bags of money. "I'll take both pairs," he said, and the shoemaker was very happy. Now he had enough money to buy leather to make 4 pairs of shoes. Night after night, the same thing happened. The shoemaker cut out the leather and left it on the workbench, and every morning he found perfect shoes in its place. But the shoemaker still did not know who was sewing the shoes. One night, the shoemaker and his wife hid in the workshop. They wanted to see who would come, and at midnight, 2 tiny elves ran in. Their clothes were very, very old, and they jumped onto the workbench and started to sew. And they did not stop until the last shoe was made. "We must make the elves a present," said the shoemaker's wife. So the shoemaker made 2 pairs of tiny shoes, and his wife made 2 pairs of tiny suits. It took them a very, very long time. And one night they left the shoes and suits on the workbench, and they hid and waited to see what would happen. There are the little suits and 2 little pairs of shoes and 2 pairs of tiny socks, ready for the elves. At midnight, 2 tiny elves ran in and they jumped onto the workbench. They were so surprised to see the tiny clothes and shoes. "We like our clothes." And they put on their new clothes and they were very happy and they liked their clothes and shoes. "We love our shoes." And the shoemaker and his wife never saw the elves again, but they did not mind. The elves had brought them good luck. From that day onward, the shoemaker worked harder than ever, and they were never, ever poor again. What a lovely story, and weren't those elves really kind? Now, your little task today is to see if you can set up your own shoe shop. So I have got some of my very, very favourite pairs of shoes over here. I have got these lovely flowery boots, and I've got some slippers and some sparkly gold shoes, and my very, very comfortable trainers here, the lilac ones and the pink ones. So all I need to do to set up my shop is to write some price labels. I think these are going to cost pennies, from 1 pence to 5 pence. So let me see. I'm going to write a 1 and a P here, means pennies. 1 penny, and I think that's going to be for my shoes down here. They can cost 1 pence there. Can I tuck it into that label? that lace there. There we are. 1 pence for those. I think my sparkly ones cost 5 pence. So I've written a number 5. And those are my sparkly ones. There we are. I can't wait to sell these in my shop. I think my pink trainers will cost 3 pennies. There we are. There's my label for those. 3 pence. I know how to write threes because we've been practicing those. So that is down there for those. Oops. I think these flowery boots will cost 4 pence. There we are. 4 pence for those lovely flowery boots. I love my shoe shop. It looks great. And lastly, I think 2 pence for my old slippers. There we are. 2 pence. I wonder if I can get anyone to come and buy something. Oh, Dylan, you're there. Would you like to buy something from my shop? 2 pence for a pair of slippers. Just 2 pence. Would you like them? What do you think? Have you got the money? Have you got the money? What do you think? I think he likes them. I think he's going to buy them. Are you going to buy them? Where's your money? You can't just take them. Can I have my money, please, sir? Money? Can I have my money in your paw? I've just got a lick instead and a hand and a paw there, but I don't think I've got any money from him. He's got his nose in there. Excuse me, don't go off with that, will you? Oh, I hope you have more success getting some money in your shoe shop. Anyway, children, have a lovely day and send me some pictures of your shoe shops. Bye.